Yeah, so I'd just like to say hello, Antonina, and welcome to our showcase today. We're going to be talking about all things the Coachininsta, high vibe coach, which is all about you. I just want to introduce the concept really, first off, which is that I host a group called the Healing Club and another group called the Spiritual Entrepreneur Resource, which is all about collaboration, non-competition, about, connecting with people, networking, and shining everybody else's light.
Yeah, beautiful space. I love it. Yeah. It's one of my favorite ones to hang out nowadays.
Is it? That's brilliant. So the idea on particularly the Healing Club was that we all, hi there, Julie.
Hello, ladies. Thanks for joining. Thanks for your support.
Is that we all really need to get to know each other a bit better.
Yeah, isn't this a gorgeous platform to do it on?
And that's what this is about. So if you don't know me, if you're just joining, and there's a few people that I don't recognize and I haven't connected with properly. So I'm Sarah Ann Negus, and I'm the Healer's Healer, and I'm a modern day shaman. My work is surrounded about a spiritual path. So I mentor my clients to open up to their own spirituality, and particularly other healers and energy workers. Particularly if you're emerging, if you're just finding your way into the world of energy, I help you open your gifts up, bring your capabilities out of you, and help you keep a very high vibration and clear energy so that you can help your own clients more, which is, ultimately what we're all here for.
Absolutely. The whole beautiful space. Thank you.
And so, Antonina,
introduce
yourself. Tell us what you do. Go on.
So, hi everyone. So good to see some of you on call and maybe some of you on the replay. Thank you so much for being today with us and joining us today. So my name is Antonina, aka the Coachininsta. My business is called the Coachininsta, and I am a high vibe coach and mentor for spiritual, conscious, sensitive entrepreneurs. And I like to translate that for those of us who, or as I say, human language, is I help sensitive spiritual ladies who are on the path to understand themselves better, to manage their energy, to increase their vibration, to learn and to listen to their internal guidance systems through a mixture of talking therapy, coaching, and energy work.
Sounds great. So we met online, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Online and offline, actually.
Online, but online first. I mean, yes. we did get together in Green Park up in London, and we've seen each other since. So we know each other reasonably well. Yeah. But in terms of becoming an online entrepreneur, what inspired you to take the step? It's not easy out there. Facebook, although it's fast, is a small environment, really.
Oh yeah, isn't it? That I think we're both learning that it's like one big networking room. To answer your question, so obviously I had a chance to look over the questions before, and it's interesting what came up. I actually first had the idea of having my own business when I would say I was about 14, right? So I had this recall where I'm sitting with a friend of mine on my balcony, and we were talking about building this life makeover service, right? Mm-hmm. So she was going to do the styling because she was this really fashionable, creative person. And I always had a dream of helping women to feel better about themselves. And so I was saying, I want this test. I want to create like a test that would help them to understand themselves better and personality type profiling, as I understand it now. And then based on their personality type, I would be able to talk to them in their language and understand it. So it's this big recall. So yeah, this has been in the works for a while. And so when with everything, with the coaching, now I understand it's more than the coaching, isn't it? It's healing, but it's all parts of the things that I've been doing before. But it was working towards that.
Okay. We both went to see Elizabeth Gilbert, didn't we, on Monday? And she talked about how ideas have a will of their own and they come to you.
Yeah.
And that to me sounds like you had this idea, but you weren't quite ready.
Yeah.
And it kept coming to you and it kept coming to you, and you've expanded into it. How lovely.
Yeah. So exactly, there were different incarnations of this idea, and I think for a long time what was missing was the working for yourself bit. I actually didn't answer that part of the question. I just realized the working for yourself. So I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but it took me a while to evolutionize towards working for yourself, and that really came about after having my daughter. And so I sort of wanted to stay home with her and wanted to be there for her. And for a while, I probably thought that's all I wanted to do and just be a stay-at-home mom. But it evolutionized from that. I then decided, no, there is something that I do want to do, and self-realize in a different way. But having my daughter also made me realize that I'm an empath. And so I knew that I need to set myself up in a way that I mind my own energy and look after myself, because things like commuting, that will take a lot out of me. And I know that because of the talk that we went to on Monday. Now, I couldn't even go anywhere on Tuesday. Like, I stayed in my pajamas the whole day. And I know that it's like part of the community. I cannot imagine doing that on everyday basis. But saying that, I really respect people who do.
Yeah, okay. Just moving on now, we're just about to start working together quite deeply. And you did join me on my own live event, which was the Healer's Power Grid, which was how to set up a therapeutic energetic frame, as well as in the physical and energetic frame, and also how to connect with source energy when you need to for your own clients. If you didn't know me, if we'd just kind of hooked up and had met at a networking event and I was a stranger, tell me how your work would help me.
How would my work help you? So, you know what? I find that my superpower, if you will, is uncomplicating things for others. I'm able to translate the language of feelings into like practical, tangible things. And if I were to liken it to something, it's, when you are decluttering your cupboard, it's like put things right in their place. So I find that with sensitive, intuitives, spiritual ladies, a lot of the time there is an energetic overwhelm. And so I'm really able to take them from that place and lead them towards a self-realization, understanding themselves, understanding their feelings. I also noted that lately I have had a lot of inquiries in a business sense. So I've been sharing some business acumen, and I don't know where it comes from, because the information just comes in. So I have to figure that part out. So I think there's, but I do see the connection, because I think part of the self-realization comes, like, eventually you're going to arrive at a part where, what is it that I want to do, and how is it that I want to show up in this world? So I do see the connection of why is it going towards the business sense.
Yeah, okay. I guess what I'm getting from that a little bit here is that the best way to exist is to come between the right side and the left side of the brain. We tend to be in our left side, which is the computer. Yeah. Or you're really spiritual and you're way out there in the right side. I know I am a lot of the time. But it sounds to me that you're able to show someone how that they can move within the two and then bring their spirituality and structure it a bit better for their own life and business.
Probably. Yeah, I like the way you put it. So yeah, it's just an observation of mine that I could understand how other sensitive intuitives perceive the world, and I'm able to connect the two dots for them. So that what you're feeling, it's like a translation mechanism that just kicks in. Yeah. So I like how you put it too. To write it down.
That's fabulous.
So yeah, balance the inner and outer, and the left and the right hemisphere. Yeah.
Okay. So along your journey, I know you talked earlier about your daughter being the the time in having your daughter being the time in your life where you kind of embrace the fact you needed to work for yourself and also to resource yourself while you did that, because you had a dependent who you obviously want to give everything that you can to. What other aha moments have you had? What other epiphanies have come along to push you towards where you are now? I mean, you're a coach, but you're using energy to change people's lives. So you're very much on a spiritual path.
So this was an interesting one. It was the word meaning, the meaning of a healer itself. And so again, when I was kind of thinking about this, what came out is, in my previous incarnation, I worked as a holistic therapist. So I already did part of healing, but I wasn't properly trained or educated in the way of protecting my own energy. And so what happened was, I was healing everyone else around me, but I was taking on everyone's stuff. So everyone around me was feeling better. My clients, were asking to come back to me for treatment, and even people around me. And so I shut down that ability for a very, very long time, to the point of that the word didn't resonate with me for a while. Like, healer, okay, that's something that other people do. But through the birth of my daughter, and then what happened was it activated my desire to go do something. And so I came across coaching, and again, it didn't click into place that this was my way of, I suppose, healing people without doing it hands-on. But then what happened with the coaching bit was, the coaching that I incarnated was very unspiritual, very executive, and again, there's a place for that, but I didn't feel too comfortable in that pool. And so I started taking stock of, like, and I found myself hanging out in healer groups with healers, and then like something clicked, and suddenly it was like, so I was just ready to open up to that, and that slotted a lot of things into place for me, because it was like, so I still use energy work. I still use my skills from me being a holistic therapist. I'm still healing, and we're still shifting energy. It's just a different modality of doing so. And it was like, ta-da! It was totally an epiphany.
Yeah. And I can kind of see that's, the more you open up to it, Anthony, the more it's going to come for you.
Yeah. Now I'm totally embracing it, and I know that I have a fantastic support network. Ladies on the call and with yourself, that now I'm excited to open up. But for a long time, it was something that led me down very dark times for a while. But I'm happy, and I'm excited to work and embrace it. So
those dark times, though, if you look back on them, they were just showing you how not to do it.
Exactly. Or as I call it now, I was totally collecting experiences. So now, whenever I have a client, I can pretty much relate to every situation. So it was a field research, if you will.
Yeah. I think that I like to say that about myself, that my life and my body has been my own university dissertation. I never went there myself. I left school when I was 15, but the rest of it has been...
Exactly. You're not boxed into, I found myself like, any modality I take, it's like I have to self-explore, with the material, I have to live it to understand it. I can't just read it.
That's always the best way, because it gets in your bones.
And, definitely gets in your bones.
So we've talked a little bit there about how you had dark times in energy healing. How do you manifest a healthy, energetic self now? What's your self-care for a healthy professional status with your clients? And how do you keep expanding your own awareness? What do you do?
Right. So for my own stuff, I guess I should start with that. I never stop learning and developing and expanding on this. And this really satisfies my thirst and my quest for knowledge. And I think this is where it's education, but not in a conventional type. The more you're educated, the more you know, the more you understand, the more you see your own triggers, the more you're aware of it. And also, I think this is where having somebody to reflect with, or more than one person to reflect this and understand through, is crucial. In terms of, I mean, from before, like part of why I'm called a high vibrational coaching mentor is because I think it's the best stuff happens when you're in high vibes. So I already know what it is, and I always strive to be there. And this happens through, you know, soul speaks in like the most simple way. So it's good food, it's early bedtime, it's spending time with people who lift you up, your loved ones, it's doing things that you love, it's looking after yourself, moving your body, like simple but obvious stuff. I mean, more specifically, I think I'm able to watch my energy, or I'm learning how to watch my energy and to recognize, right, this is coming from this. Here I need to do this. Here I need to work with crystals. Like what you mentioned earlier, the power grid, that's been fantastic because it's a go-to resource now where you can just charge up and know that my stuff is not going to like help me keep that transparency with working with clients. And this is part of the reason why I want to go deeper into that work, because I want to be able to be as authentic as transparent of a channel and as clear of a channel when it comes to working with my clients, so that, you know, yeah, they can work through their stuff.
Well, with that intention, you're definitely going to achieve it. So you just keep going forwards and keep going forwards, and it's going to come.
Yeah.
Your vision for your future, vision for your business, vision for your life, how big is it? What is it?
Well, I think it took me a long time to, it took me a while to understand and come to the point where I am now. But now I have found my tribe and people, and those people who surround me. I have big plans in how to assist and serve others like myself to really crank up and shine their light. So specifically, I have plans for courses, masterminds, retreats. If I were to go deeper, I would love to develop a conscious marketing model and the framework.
Can you explain that to me, Anthony? It's not the first time I've heard you say conscious marketing.
Right.
So I have an idea of that, what that is in my head, but it might be something quite different to what that means for you.
Okay.
Can you explain it to me?
Yes. So I see and I witness in others like myself a different energy output, if you will. And so what happens when a person who is produced of a different energetic makeup that goes to create a business, what happens is we start following certain preset blueprints or courses, or taking courses, or doing things that have that are out there right now. And time again, what happens is, because of our unique energetic makeup, we tend to get lost. We tend to get overwhelmed because those things are not true to ourselves. So it's like, I want to create an environment and a framework for others like myself that supports that part of themselves, and perhaps let them figure this out on their own, but in a way that feels true to them, but at the same time providing information and support, because I understand that business is run on rules and certain predispositions, but what sets us apart is how we process the information, how we internalize it, and so forth. So I think, like, yeah, healers need their own conscious marketing model.
So you're kind of going to be connecting to their own uniqueness.
Yes, their own uniqueness and their energetic makeup. So like the latest trend that I noticed, it was, you know, you're saying, well, I can't be spending all this time online. So it's like, if they're not watching their self-care and their energy, perhaps it's putting certain things. in place. Yeah, and we've talked about it as well, where it allows them to be who they are and do what they came here to do, without getting too hung up in the systems and structures, because I think we're all feelers. We're, you know, we're a lot more fluid. So it's something that caters to that fluidity.
Okay. I love the sound of it. Conscious marketing sounds something that I would be completely drawn to. And I imagine everybody listening to this lab would like to find out more about Antonina.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. So that's in the works in the future. That's the big bold dream, I suppose.
That so in terms of dreams, I think the bold ones are the ones that have their own will. As I said at the beginning, Elizabeth Gilbert talked about her ideas in particular having a will and an energy.
Yeah, you just, oh my God, yes, you totally connected. So it's that framework that I talked about, that development and different personality type, except now I know which personality type I want to work with. And so really, you know, all of these desires come from wanting and needing to be of service to others like me, so that they have the adequate support, so that they really can grow in confidence and do what they've set out or what they've been sent here to do, like really fulfill their mission, which is crank up their light and raise the vibration of the planet. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Antonina. That's been absolutely wonderful talking to you. Can you stick in the message to your website and your Facebook page, etc., etc.?
Goodness, yeah. Maybe while we take some questions, I'm going to do this. I was changing the where I'm going to do this. Completely forgot to bring it up. Like, how
you want me to get it? Shall I go get it?
Hold up. I've got my.
Here we are. I've got it here.
Okay. Because I think I sent you some yesterday, and
you did, because you're organized.
Yeah, but not today. You kind of got me a little like nervous. And I was like, shall I do it there? Shall I do it there? Should I?
There we go. There we go. Look, see how organized I am.
Ah, thank you.
Has it gone on?
No, it hasn't, actually.
Oh. Paste there. Okay, well, it's just taking me straight to you then.
Oh, okay. Don't worry. Let me, what I will do is, I loved everything that you've put. You should put, okay. Ah, perfect. Thank you. Hello, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us on the call. This was fantastic. Sarah, thank you so much for being the host and asking all these wonderful questions.
Thank you for coming and spending the half hour with us. If anybody's got any questions for Antonina, please.
We've got 7 minutes before I have to like run and get my daughter from school. No, thank you.
No.
So this is girls only.
Yeah.
I had a question. Could you ask that in the comment section? Please, rock steady. Am I following you all? Yes, yes. Who's that? Christine. I'm going to follow Christine.
So how do you do that? You get to go and follow everybody. I'm still new to Blab, and
right. If you we're not following each other, Travis.
Are we?
If you go up, you will see all the pictures of the faces. So if you kind of if you hover over them, then the person's information comes up, like at the very top of this.
Rocksteady has actually got a really a good question here.
Yeah, I like that. Do you find yourself being judgmental towards lower vibrational people? It provokes a reaction, yes. But what I know happens with me a lot of the time, it will trigger me, it'll provoke a reaction, and I will probably take on to some of their feelings, and then I have to understand whether what I've taken on is theirs or mine, if I'm not careful. Does that answer your question? So I know that when I'm in high vibration, those states will not, how do I determine what's mine? Well, I'm kind of familiar with my own energy and vibration by now. And I also know how to reach the place where I feel good and things happen for me, and I'm place of my own place of joy. I don't know. I would love to hear your take. Tell me.
You're really good at staying in your center, Antonina.
Staying in my center. So I would love to hear what's your take on it, Sarah.
So being judgmental towards lower vibrational people, lower vibrational people is a perspective. It's somebody, it's your own take on the situation. If you think about a ladder, I like this.
Yeah.
A ladder of spirituality, if you want to talk about vibrations.
Yeah.
The vibrational people at the top really seriously need the lower rung ladders.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anyone's better. It just means that we are working on a different vibration.
I agree. Yeah.
Being unconsciously incompetent, I like that as well.
That's a very compassionate explanation, because I think what Rocksteady meant is not purposefully lower vibrational. So I like that, unconsciously incompetent.
Yeah. I mean, and they're on a path there where they're learning something, and I don't know what it is, and you don't know what it is, and who's to say what's better? No one. We all are just rubbing along each other, and being intuitive, working with energy doesn't mean you're better than any.
If anything, sometimes. So I think gives me anxiety, yes, or I will find myself changing my state suddenly. I know that if I've given out too much, I will be pissy and just unpleasant. So then I have to recalibrate myself by asking, how can I solve this with love, with positivity, with compassion? I think that would be the right way.
I think the other thing as well that I'd like to add is that no one can affect your energy.
Yeah, that's what I'm learning. I think that's I've seen these discussions taking place, and so
only you can affect your energy. It's how you respond to somebody else, and that's all there is.
I think so. Like, I know when I started researching empathy, it was a lot about shielding yourself and protecting yourself. And I have to say, it has a place in the beginning, but eventually you understand that in itself creates an environment where you attract exactly what you're trying to repel, I think, if I'm making sense. And so eventually the only way to go forward is to crank up your light, shield, to expand on what you already are and go up the vibration scale, if you will. Just, I call it my place of joy. Go up to my place of joy, then where those things will not reach me or will not bother me, will not trigger me.
Yeah, that's a really good way of doing. You're always going to be triggered. We're human.
Yeah.
Everybody is going to come and they're going to have something that reminds you of you. Yeah. And that's where your trigger comes. You see something in somebody else and look and think, oh! And in your unconscious is going, that's you. That's you.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. But I think there's also a way of saying, oh, that's you. Or like, hey, it's you. Bring it on,
Yeah. Absolutely, and that's the way, is you just change it round, and when you can actually do that within yourself, you're actually on such a winner.
Yeah, I think this is where you go from being an unconsciously incompetent to an active co-creator.
Fab. Thank you for that.
Thank you. No, this was awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time doing this. I'm going to have to sign out, guys, because I have to run and get my daughter. But this was lovely. I loved being on the other side. Let's do it again.
Yes, I think we should. Definitely.
Have like tea time talks. Yeah. Take care.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I loved it.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.